Here to present the Edison Achievement Award, please welcome to the stage the founder and CEO of WF360, Susan Willett Bird.
What a privilege it is to introduce you to Chris Anderson, recipient of the 2012 Edison Achievement Award. I know before now, some of you didn't know Chris Anderson. Like me, when I first heard of TED and I asked, who is this guy Ted and what's his last name? Now you'll all be hip to all things TED. You'll meet people who self-identify as TEDsters, citizens of the community of ideas that sprung from Chris's brain to form the global gift that keeps on giving. Because TED's gone viral, and so has Chris. Son of missionary parents, this shy Brit is now a public figure. I'm told a learned extrovert. And our world is the better for it. Now, Chris didn't invent a new vehicle or a new healthcare system. His innovation activates the means by which a boy in West Virginia, a girl in Kenya, a grandmother in Rio, anyone can have a shot at becoming an innovator, at becoming the next Edison. Now, how'd Chris do this? By transforming a smartest guys in the room event, enjoyed privately by hundreds, into a powerhouse, not-for-profit, 24/7 engine of idea-driven content, inspiring anyone, anywhere to change themselves, their communities, and our world into a wiser, smarter, more beautiful place. Now, at its core, TED is an annual event in Long Beach where 1,500 hand-picked movers and shakers experience brilliant people giving the 18-minute speech of their life. But using existing technology, many more people, from shantytowns to bedrooms, to there too, but boardrooms is what I meant, also, he's quite a guy. They also experience that TED Talk in real time. Yeah, I'm sure there too. And then, as the best of those TED Talks hits the web, millions more are inspired to activate their own imaginations in ways entirely fresh. In fact, one TED Talk itself has been viewed by over 10 million people. TED Talks are the intellectual kindling that sets brains on fire for learning and for connection to things bigger than oneself. Chris says throughout history, the vast majority of humans have not been the people they could have been because they were without the knowledge and the inspiration that could unlock their ability. That springing open of the world's human potential is what Chris's innovation, this TED Gone Global, makes possible. And human appetite for knowledge favors no race, no country, no language. So people inflamed by TED brain fever are so eager for their countries to join the TED conversation, they volunteer by the thousands to translate TED Talks into Afrikaans, Tagalog, Urdu, and many more. Said a Sudanese volunteer, I translate TED Talks for my country. Chris makes sense of what others find illogical. He predicted that people paying thousands to experience TED in Long Beach would still do that if they gave all the content away to the world for free. They put the talks on the web, people still come to Long Beach. Chris attracts brilliant people eager to tackle hard things, expects the best from them, and then he pulls them faster than they think they can go. And what happens? TEDx, which gives away the secret sauce, both the TED brand and its content, to strangers to put on their own mini TED events. and there have been 3,200 of those thus far, in over 800 cities, 126 countries, even a prison in Lipkoni, Moldova. That's near the Ukraine. TED Fellows is another one. Brings young innovators from violinists to rocket scientists, many who've never left their country until now, into the TED community to amplify their projects and cultivate close collaboration. And just recently, TED Ed, combining the work of world-class high school teachers with professional animators. It's already burning up YouTube, and that TED Ed catapults the reach of great teachers beyond their classroom. Chris went to grade school with kids from 30 countries, and now he gives all kids a global mashup of instructors and students sharing their appetite for wonder at this universe around us and inside us. And there's TED on NPR, and there's TED TV, and there's TED all over. You know, Chris would have invited Thomas Edison to be a TED speaker. Who knows what ideas worth spreading would have come from that TED Talk if the timing had been right. So think of what's in store from future TEDsters who, thanks to Chris Anderson, will become the next Edisons, the Einsteins, the Curies, and yes, the Steve Jobses. And they will rock our world in ways that even Chris Anderson cannot predict. Let's hear from Chris in his own words.
As a child, curiosity was already at the core of Chris Anderson. It was while growing up in India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan that Chris's passion for learning and knowledge was sparked.
I went to an international school in the Himalayas in India with kids from 30+ countries, and I've always felt coming out of that.
So, how totally cool is that? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage the astounding Chris Anderson, recipient of the award.
Good, it's me. Susan, thank you. That was crazy generous, actually. What to say? There are so many smart, brilliant people in this room, so I kind of don't know how to break it to you that innovation in general is actually a really bad thing. Most of the time, it's true. Do you care for a little garlic with your coffee, perchance? Probably not. And when you flew into New York, you probably weren't that eager for your pilot coming into land to do a little innovation. Just not a good thing. And in fact, for most cultures, for most of history, it's people who innovate have been regarded as kind of dangerous and a little weird, in truth, and rightly so. So it's right to innovate when? I guess when you think that the road that you're on is a dangerous one, or when you can just see really clearly that there is a better way. And I guess today a lot of us think that there might be a better way, and so we've come to celebrate innovation. And we have this picture of the genius, you know, the thinker, the inventor who spends all this time thinking and then suddenly has the eureka moment, the light bulb comes on. And I hate to say it, but even the person who invented the light bulb thinks that picture is rubbish. That's not how it happens at all. Here are some quotes from one Thomas Edison. A good idea is never lost. Even though its originator or possessor may die without publicizing it, it will someday be reborn in the mind of another. Or, my principal business consists of giving value to the brilliant but misdirected ideas of others. Or, I readily absorb ideas from every source, frequently starting where the last person left off. What he's saying is that ideas have a life of their own, that they don't self-generate from the mind of a genius. They have parents. They come from collision between different ideas. And I would guess that Thomas Edison's real genius was not being a genius. It was creating an environment, an ecosystem where amazing ideas could emerge. He surrounded himself with amazing people. He had this extraordinary lab with all the world's materials, etc., etc. And he was hungry. He was curious. So, you know, this award is wild, and there is an innovative thing that has happened at TED in the last few years, and I'm going to tell you about it. But what I want to tell you mostly is that it didn't come from me. It came from these people right here who I get to work with. June Cohen, Tom Riley, and dear friends from the TED community. We have conversations, and we have had this amazing opportunity. We've had a ringside view of some of the world's most brilliant minds over the last 10 years. And we've heard inspiring, intriguing stuff. And one of the things that we've heard and that has emerged from our conversations has been this idea of openness, radical openness, we call it. And it's really infused a lot of what's happened at TED. Radical openness means, if you can, give it away. Throw the keys to someone else, because they'll probably do more with it than you can. So we gave away our talks on the web, our crown jewels. To our astonishment, they flew across the web and changed the reputation of TED for all time. And we opened up translations to volunteers, and 7,000 of them took TED into more than 80 languages. Crazy. We gave away our brand, TEDx, and allowed people in all these cities around the world to hold their own events, really multiplying TED's footprint. And then most recently, we're giving teachers the opportunity, the tools to take any video and turn them into a lesson that can be shared. So openness has been cool. It's really openness that, you know, you need to picture up here, because we're in a connected world now. Openness is the winning strategy. You are all absolute brilliant idea creators. Those ideas now can flow across the web at the speed of light and can come back better because other people see them. For the first time in history, we're in an era where we can see the best ideas in the world like never before. That collision that is critical to innovation can happen every minute if we open our eyes and if we give away our best stuff so that other people can critique it. So that's a cool thing. And so I really want to thank the steering committee of the Thomas Edison Awards for this. This is a huge honor, but I'll accept it on behalf of the people down here and on behalf of the ideas, because at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about them. They're going to outlive all of us, and they would like you to know that given a chance, they will help create a future that is truly spectacular. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Anderson. You know, I realize this might be a somewhat inappropriate statement to make at an innovation ceremony, but I do want to say that I think there can be an inverse relationship between technology and productivity. Now, I know it's an odd thing to say, and I'm the last person to say it. As I actively host these awards, I didn't turn my phone off myself, right? I live on my phone. That's ridiculous. But at the same time, I would submit to you as evidence my laptop and the internet. Now, what do I mean? When I'm not traveling the world or scaling some Asian skyscraper, I'm sitting in my office on my laptop working on a contract or an essay or grading my students' paperwork, and oftentimes, as we all do, I get bored. And as we all know, just like a pusher on the corner, that naughty, elusive web browser is just waiting right there, just staring at me, just one click away, hoping to tap into my inner ADHD. And like an escape hatch opening, out goes efficiency and in comes procrastination, allowed to flourish, grow, and multiply. And whether it's Facebook or Twitter, the New York Times, or in my case, online poker, the point is we find ways to waste time. We all do, right? Intermittently throughout the day, it's like inefficiency by 1,000 little cuts. But I tried something 3 months ago. I tried an experiment, in large part thanks to my friend Tom Statt. Instead of taking these 30 to 40 little mini blips of procrastination spread out throughout the day, instead I bundled them all into one 18-minute chunk of TED. So I want to take this opportunity to personally thank Chris Anderson for what you've done. You've actually, for me, you've reimagined procrastination and transformed it, literally. You have reimagined it for me and transformed it into something that is soulfully productive and really intellectually nourishing. And I mean this. Watching TED actually makes me want to get back to work and share that work with other people. And that's an amazing thing. Absolutely. And I'm not saying this because I want to be invited to give a TED Talk. I'm not. I'm not. I am free in February, I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth and final video module of the evening, have a look at some of your winners.